Hey, what's up guys? I'm back doing a video on takeoff distances. So at this point, you should have calculated everything in your cross-country checklist, and now the last thing you need to do is calculate your takeoff and landing performance to make sure that you're going to be able to take off and land in plenty of space, whether you're flying over 50-foot obstacle or not, and you're going to have enough runway to come to a complete stop and or take off. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is determine which performance charts we need. One of the first things I was confused about when doing this is the names of the different charts used for takeoff distances and landing distances in the POH for your aircraft. So we'll review those real quick. You know that you're using the right chart. It's very important. And then the procedure for each of those charts is the exact same, but we'll go over that procedure in an example. Okay, so the four charts here are for takeoff is 0 degree flaps takeoff ground roll, 0 degree flap takeoff performance, 25 degree flap takeoff ground roll, and 25 degree flap takeoff performance. Okay, so now when you talk about ground roll, you're going to talk about this distance here. So this is the distance you roll on the ground before rotating and lifting your wheels, lifting off the ground. Okay, so that point from when you start to roll and when you lift off the ground is your ground roll. So in these charts that talk about ground roll for 0 degree flaps and 25 degree flaps, those are talking about finding this distance. All right, now the takeoff performance charts are going to talk about the distance from the place where you start rolling through the place where you begin taking off, all the way to clearing a 50-foot obstacle. So that distance that it would take to roll, take off, and get to an altitude such that you can clear a 50-foot obstacle. That is going to be that distance. Okay, so when you see takeoff performance, think of this distance. When you see ground roll, think of this distance. So ground roll is no obstacle. Takeoff performance is an obstacle. All right, the next thing we need to do to use these charts is we need to gather information, so we have all the information before starting to use the charts. The information we will need is takeoff weight, forecasted surface winds at the airport you're taking off, the runway elevation, the runway direction, forecasted surface temperature, and forecasted altimeter setting. Next, we use this information to calculate a pressure altitude, and a headwind or tailwind. Okay, now with the pressure altitude, headwind, tailwind, aircraft weight, temperatures, we will be able to have everything we need for the takeoff performance chart. So let's get into an example. You want to take off in an aircraft with a takeoff weight of 2157. So 2,157 pounds from runway 27 at an airport that is 2,000 feet long at an elevation of 242 feet and the following forecasted weather. Surface winds 255 at 14. Surface temperature 24 degrees Celsius, and altimeter setting is forecasted to be 29.82. Okay, let's get into it. The first thing we need to do is compute pressure altitude. Our pressure altitude equation is the pressure altitude equals the elevation plus 1,000 times the quantity of 29.92, that's our standard altimeter setting, minus our actual altimeter setting. So that quantity times 1,000 added to the elevation. Alright, so our elevation is 242. Our expected altimeter setting 29.82. So first we do 29.92 minus 29.82 to get 0.10. Multiply that by 1,000. We get 100. Add that to 242. We get 342 is our pressure altitude that we can now use in our chart. Next thing we need to do is calculate either a headwind or a tailwind. Now the equation for a headwind or tailwind is going to be the wind speed times the cosine of the angle between the runway and the wind. Alright, it's pretty simple. You can just enter this into Google. You can do, so in our example, you can do 14 times COS in parentheses 15 and then put DEG if you're typing it into Google to signify degrees. Otherwise, it'll automatically use radians and you won't get the answer you want. So 14 times the cosine of 15 degrees is going to give us a headwind of 13.5 knots. Now, I like to draw it out so that I know, okay, we're looking for a headwind because it's 255 at 14. It's 15 degrees from our 27. So I like to draw it out, find this degrees. Now we are fully ready to use our chart. So for this example, I'm going to do two charts. I'm going to do them both as 0 degree flaps, okay? So if you were wanted to use flaps, you would obviously use those two charts that say 25 degrees flap. So the first one is ground roll. Oops. So the first chart is ground roll, and this is, again, the distance that does not require it to go over a 50-foot obstacle. So let's get right to it. So our temperature of 24 degrees, we're going to find on this axis down here. We're going to draw a straight line up until it reaches our pressure altitude that we calculated of 342. Once you get to 342, reading off these lines right here, you're going to draw a straight line over until the next reference line right here. Okay, next thing, step 3, is we're going to find our aircraft weight on this axis down here. Aircraft weight is 2157, so we find that, we draw a straight line up. Alright, now that that line is in, we're going to go to step 4, and we're going to come back here to our reference line, right there, and we're going to, from that reference line, we're going to follow these curves, so we're going to stay parallel to these curves all the way until we intersect our line at our aircraft weight, okay? Once we intersect at that intersection point, our next step is to draw a straight line all the way over to the next reference line for wind, okay? Then we're going to find our headwind down on this axis, so 13.5. We find that, we draw another line straight up, all right? We come back to our reference line, and again, we follow these curves. For headwind, the curves go down. For tailwind, they go up, so we know we have a headwind, so we're going to follow the curves that go down. We're going to stay parallel to those from our reference point until we meet the line at our headwind that we just drew, and then at that intersection point, we're going to draw one more horizontal line over until the end of the chart. And at that point, we're going to read off from these values our takeoff ground roll in feet. Okay, so our distance in feet. So each one of these is 50, and there's 10 of them. So we're up here on the 7th block. So that's 850 feet approximately of ground roll distance. All right. Now, for our 50-foot obstacle, the procedure is the exact same. It's just a different chart. Okay. So we come up from 24. All the way up to our pressure altitude 342, draw a line over, come over here to 2157 on the weight chart. Then we're going to follow these curves down until our weight line, and we're going to draw a straight line over to the next reference line. We're going to come down here to the wind. We're going to draw the headwind from our headwind straight up. Again, we're going to follow the curves down for headwind until we reach that point, and then we're going to draw a horizontal line over, and now we're going to read off a different scale, which is gives us about 1450 feet of takeoff performance. That's the distance it will take to reach over a 50-foot obstacle. So for our example, it would take us 850 feet to reach a speed to be able to lift off our wheels, and it would take 1450 feet to be able to take off, lift off our wheels, and reach over a 50-foot obstacle. Okay, so I hope you guys understood all of this, and if not, please comment below or follow me on Instagram at part.time.pilot, or on Facebook, search for the group Part-Time Pilot Group. You can join the group, ask a question at any time, day or night, and someone qualified will get an answer to you. Alright, so right now on your screen you're going to see two video suggestions. One is going to be on the right hand side of the screen, is going to be the entire cross-country playlist. You can go in there, review any step of the cross-country planning checklist that you missed. And on the left, it's going to be a video about how to find landing distances and landing performance. And then on the top left is my logo. If you click that, you can subscribe. That way you get a notification for the next time I upload a very helpful video like this one. Alright, thanks.